819 North Haines Street. The corner of Hain and Strong is where my great-grandmother lived. 819 North Haines Street, 1 block over from Cervantes, there stands a pecan tree that belonged to my great-grandmother. 819 North Haines Street is where I went after church every Sunday. 819 North Haines Street is where my family and other families gathered. So it wasn't just houses, it was homes. I walked these streets. You're looking at the face of a descendant of a great-grandmother who had to move from her home that she had been in since 1917. I'm going to do an epilogue because this is bridging the gap. It's all about hope. It's all about the things that we want to do and accomplish. In February, I was honored to tell the story in Bella magazine. And the photographer said, let's take your picture at 819 North Haines Street. And if you should Google it, it will show that pecan tree. And so on the first day when I was supposed to go and take the picture, it was raining. It was raining really, really hard. But I hadn't heard from her, and so I showed up. And so I parked across the street on the east side next to what I knew was Mr. John's store. And I kind of reminisced about what was going on there because my great-grandmother across the street could see that store, and they had a jukebox, y'all. And they sold beer and wine, and they played music all day. They had penny candy. They had cookies in those big containers. And all the people that would go over into Mr. Johnny Jones' store, they never they walked out after sitting there with the beer and wine all the time. But if my grandmother and my great-grandmother were sitting on the porch, they kind of straightened themselves up, right? So that they wouldn't know, and they always spoke respectfully to them. 819 North Haines Street. As I sat there and the rain was coming down, tears came down my eyes because I looked over at what was her very robust pecan tree that was now dying. And I felt sad and I felt hopeless. And so when the photographer came, she said, well, let's come back tomorrow and bring your umbrella, because she could see that I was fighting with the rain dripping down. So the next day we came and we walked over to the tree, and I stood by this tree that I thought was dying, and I looked at it, and there was green vines. There was these purple flowers just wrapped around it. And I said to her, but it used to be so big. All the kids in the neighborhood used to come and pick pecans and try to crack them with our hands and then do it with our teeth and be warned, don't do that no more. I went, but it's nowhere like it used to be. It's dying, just like this neighborhood, just like this community has died. For when my great-grandmother moved, she could no longer watch the men walking across the street. She could no longer walk down this street over to Mount Olive Baptist Church. I could no longer put on my roller skates and tie my skate key around my neck and tighten my skates and skate down these roads. And I said it to the photographer. But then I looked, and as I was standing there, I took a look, and I looked down, and there were 2 pecans, one with a green shell and one with the brown. And if you saw the thing, I picked it up, I held it into my hand, and I said, there is life. There will be life again in this community. There is hope. It says that what was lost will now be reborn. There is life. There is growth. There is hope. for others, for the descendants and the people of the people that used to live here. And that is the epilogue of the story.
Oh, that was yummy, huh? Yeah. You know, it's appropriate that we're in the front from the ground up garden here, and she was just sharing with us those small nuts that are beginning to grow, right? So, with that said, our